Right, so will you go to this one for a sec? Just do this Evan's camera or whatever. And I'm gonna do the clap. Right. Clap. So like right. Then we're all just gonna throw in the balloons. We'll just start clapping and throw in the balloons. What? No, we're going to do it. We'll come back and go. Welcome back to everything from Nothing after, right? Right. That's it. That was good.
That was shit, wasn't it?
That was a bit shit.
Welcome back to Everything from Nothing, Ireland's 50th. Well, no, this is our 50th episode, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's the podcast 50th episode. So our guest here, do you want to blow it out there? Because it's his birthday the other day as well. Happy birthday,
It's his
Evan.
18th.
Come on, blow it out. Don't spit on it now. Just put
no
it.
spit. Nice, lovely.
The old virus. Yeah, nice one. Hey,
happy birthday, Evan.
happy birthday, Evan.
And the podcast.
Evan. Yeah. So this is our 50th episode.
Where will I put this one?
Anywhere, sure.
Anywhere.
That looks good.
Fabulous.
Yeah. Welcome back to Everything from Nothing, Ireland's most. We'll get better at the audio thing here. Ireland's most
Celebrated
podcast. That's good. So today we're joined by brother Evan. He's mine and Owen, our production director, Führer. Is general podcaster Owen. So he's actually Evan is mine and Owen's brother. He's actually our cousin, but maybe we'll get into that. But he lives with us, but he is our brother. But the old census would tell you otherwise, I'd say. But he lives with us. The census would tell you that too. Don't be going looking at our census. Anyway, how are you getting on, Hugh and Haley? This is our 50th episode. How do you feel like, I don't know, being on episode 50?
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, you get close to the mic or something.
I'm getting better at it.
I was a bit late.
50th episode.
I was a bit late to the party, but I was there. But not here. But yeah, it's cool, man. It's really good.
It's good,
yeah.
It's given me kind of like sort of a slight flash forward. Looking at that, I feel like I'm getting the horrors that it's my 50th birthday.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm looking at like the 50th. No, it's not. It's a happy event.
It is.
By 100, I'll be able to work the microphone.
Yeah,
get the right distance.
Yeah, so
see if the microphone is still working at that stage.
That's true. That's true.
They're good mics, man. They're good mics.
How are you doing, Evan?
And yeah, I can play on you.
Good.
You can though.
You can, yeah. You want, we don't care. You had a big birthday as well.
Did you? 18.
Oh, and when was your birthday?
26th of March. So.
Very good.
What's it like to be 18 these days, Evan?
I suppose you have to. Well, I left school a bit early, so obviously because I was more interested in working when I was 18. So school had nothing for me at that stage, and I obviously.
Where were you working?
I worked with Dan Taylor for a year in town.
Yeah.
So I worked
And
with
what do
Dan.
you do? What kind of work is that? Because I don't know Dan.
Everyone knows Dan.
You don't know that? Come on, Eddie.
I don't know.
Dan. Yeah, he works with Dan. So go on, sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm a fuel merchant. So
Fuel merchant.
Do you work in the bog?
Yeah.
You do? Wow.
You look like he comes back fucking. You nearly brought half a board in the morning into the house here a while ago. Like,
Serious?
yeah.
What do you do? Foot and turf?
Yeah.
Cool.
That's right.
Footing turf.
Foot and turf.
What'd you say? You said you left school.
I left school about 2 months, the last 2 months of school for my. At that stage, I would have completed my whole school year and I would have been finished. But at that stage, school really had nothing left for me, so and I just had to give it up and pack.
The school you were in. Are you comfortable talking about your crack with
the
school
I'm
and your
in
history?
is a special education school for people that suffer with obviously mental illnesses and the likes of people that have
Certain needs that tended to
I was in 2 schools previous to Skull Cormac over in Cashel. I was in
2 schools, what one previous?
I was in Our Lady's Templemore. That was the first secondary school.
Yeah.
I was there for a while and they just didn't really have enough for me to.
Yeah, because
get the education.
you you learned in a different way. Like you needed to learn in a certain
Well,
way.
I learn with my hands in that sense. Why I like working, because it's always,
Yeah,
you know.
because you were also diagnosed with autism. Right? Is that right?
I was,
'Cause-
yeah,
Yeah.
very young age.
Like even when I said that, that wasn't even like, it sounded like I was saying, "Is that right?" And people were like, "Oh, obviously he's faking it because he's his brother." I actually had to make sure I don't know something. I'm
And what did you think of Skull Cormac?
I suppose since I was there, I have to take my hat off to Lorraine Lowry.
Yeah,
She definitely done a lot for the kids that were there.
fair play to her,
She
yeah.
tried her hardest, like. And
She's very enthusiastic, isn't she?
Yeah, yeah,
Lorraine, I
she's
know
very-
Lorraine. She's sound.
There's some really cool teachers out there.
What did you get from school? Because, like you said, it had just kind of run its course for you. Like a few
well,
months
at the start, Haley, I suppose school was kind of, you know, it was.
Go on, sorry.
I suppose school, like, you know, you're going away and you're doing these things. You try to make school as academic as possible.
Yeah.
Compared to sitting in and doing work.
Mm.
Yeah, true.
And then when COVID came in like late March, I remember that school was, you know, the schools were shut. And when we went back the first time, school just wasn't as it was before, and I started getting really like, how they put lackadaisical, not wanting to
Yeah.
actually like do anything.
Yeah.
When you say it wasn't like it was before, like
No,
what do you mean? Like,
There was no like academics, like there was no choir, there was no.
yeah,
you
none
know.
of all that extracurricular stuff,
yeah.
like the arty, creative, expressive things.
Yeah,
Which is
yeah.
really
Yeah.
important, like
Yeah.
for fuck. Like,
And
sorry,
it was just blunt. School was just sitting there doing work.
Sitting
At
on
that
your ass
stage.
working.
At that stage, it was just like I was sitting there doing nothing. If anything, I was giving out to the teachers because it was like, "Miss, I want to leave. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I said when I'm 18 and gone out the door, simple as, and I make sure. But
Yeah.
I said it's not got. I said it's
Because it's a
not.
really good school.
Yeah, I know it is.
Yeah.
It's hats off to all the teachers in there because they do really hard. Like
Yeah.
there's like Sapadi Corner, the Rebel Hearts, and
Danielle Martin,
Yeah,
who's we
Danielle,
had,
yeah.
she was one of the hosts. She was done
Um,
episodes before. There's good teachers out there, sound people,
yeah. There's Mark Fitzell from Any Face of Cash.
and John's wife.
John Fitzgerald works out there as well now.
Does John work out there now as well?
He's doing childcare out there.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
Fair
yeah.
play.
Fair play to him, yeah.
That's why he's not. He stopped hosting the podcast. He
He's
won't.
too busy.
He won't yeah, fair play. I know he was trying to do that for a while. That's class.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of, like,
What kind of stuff were you doing? Like, you were saying choir and
yeah, he was, I used to play a lot of guitar. Obviously, there's Seamus Hayes with the Cedar Towns, based in Clonmel. I suppose he was a huge, like, musical influence in my life. Like, from the day I went there, he kind of, you know,
Yeah.
is that where you learned the guitar, is it?
yeah. Well, I would have got my ambitions for guitar and to not stop but keep going.
Brilliant.
As Mr. Hayes always said, at the end of the tunnel, there always is something bright at the end of it. Like, don't ever like stop yourself from doing something just because.
I saw you doing the jamming down the bottom of the square. That was pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was savage.
You've no fear.
Yeah.
I
You-
don't know.
Huh?
Yeah, why?
Know.
You're, like you're one of the only. That's what's so amazing. Like you're one of the only people your age, like kid, like because of like social media and stuff. Everyone's so self conscious, but like you don't care. Like,
Well, I suppose like when you look at the likes of Tony, James, from Strings and Things and Small Fish, you kind of like, they kind of, I suppose they influenced me in such a way, like 'cause their jamming sessions and stuff that they've been at. They're like, oh, come on, you can do this. Like, don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Of it. And I just went and done it one day, and then I ended up. I remember the day the fella.
yeah.
I was playing with Izzy Nesbitt and all that down the square and
Oh yeah, and
on
they're
our own.
telling
It was
her that.
outside.
Isles, was it? Or where was it?
Yeah,
Wales, yeah.
Well, yeah, it was Izzy that day, and then we were with Izzy Nesbitt and.
But not just the music, like the fact that like we're not just specifically like the whole thing with no fear is like, I'll go uptown and be like, oh, and since like Evan would be 15 or something at the time, and I just hear like, we wouldn't know where Evan is or whatever, but I meet a friend and he'd be like, oh, it's just down at the pub, your brother was down there, and he said that like I'd be told he'd be just sitting up there talking to the old lads up on the bar, like,
Yeah, it would be. Yeah,
having a glass of my waddy or whatever, like, and.
I suppose.
That's what we mean, like that, like no fear, like why you're so comfortable talking to strangers.
My social interaction with strangers, and I'll tell you now, is that no matter where you are in life, you should never be afraid to talk to anyone. It's that person that you're talking to mightn't have anyone else to talk to.
Yeah,
You might be the only person that will walk into that pub and make their day.
yeah,
You could be drinking there because they lost someone or they done something that is after hurting them, and unfortunately, that is an outcome of people drinking alcohol. Is to hide all their worries on the inside.
Mm.
So what's stopping you from getting up there, sitting there, and drinking a glass of my waddy at that age, or at my age now? I can go up and drink a pint with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, just have a chat. That's all it takes. Like.
And you'd never be nervous or anything, no?
No, not at all.
Fair play to you. The rest of
Was
us would.
that? Did you
Yeah.
like consciously
Yeah.
not be nervous,
Yeah.
or is it? Yeah.
Just kind of,
How did you? But how did you not do that? Because there's loads of people that are just like, yeah, I'd love to be like that, especially people like of your age, but they're too fucking scared and they have no
I-
tools to overcome it.
Yeah.
I suppose I've been involved in a lot around town, like especially with like the likes of Duala over.
All right, sorry, I thought you were going to say something else. I was going to say no. Never mind. Go on. Sorry.
we don't talk about anything illegal.
So it's okay. Yeah. I actually thought. Never mind. Go on.
Safe enough.
But go on. Duala with the Duala show. So that's
Yeah,
like Evan. You started getting work at like festivals and events around the town, and that
I
was.
suppose the likes of Kieran and Omer doing it when they were younger. I figured, oh, it's such a cool approach to take, because like the likes of the vintage car show in Thurles, like that was a big like moment in my life. Like that was with the Lions Club, and I kind of realized then that, oh geez, I do like I am actually interested in all these things, but it was only as I was 16 and 17 that I was realizing that like I had such like a social like background, and I didn't realize I had it until I was older. Like when I was younger, I suppose I probably got bullied a lot because people kind of looked at me differently because I have a defect in my eye and loads of other things, which isn't fair. You shouldn't judge someone just because we're all people at the end of the day. Like.
But that I remember that. Like, yeah, you would have got picked on a lot when you're younger. But like, which is even madder that you just. But like Evan, just you've always had this sort of unconscious like ignoring everything. Like when Evan was younger, in a good way, in a good like ignore like you just go on with your life. You defied everyone that ever said like anything to you. Like back from when Evan was born. Like, there was crazy stuff when he was born. Like, he had to get open heart surgery when he was born. The doctors told everyone, my parents, everything, like, the family. They said that he was going to die. They told him that. Like, they said that. And then he comes through and they said, oh, well, like, he's going to be in a wheelchair and he's not going to be able to talk and all this. And then he grows up and then he goes to school. And now you have all these teachers saying he's going to have to go to this school. He's never going to be able to work and all this. And he defies that again. And now he's like doing this, and they're saying, "Oh, he doesn't have hand coordination or this, whatever." I can't even say the word. Hand coordination, and then he learns the guitar. And everything, doctors and teachers and people like have been saying, "No, you've just blanked it out," like, and it's really cool, and it's mad that like, I don't know, like I was saying, like why I was saying that is because like if you got picked on a bit, you're younger. You didn't let that affect you because you're normally that leaves like when people get picked on it's sort of they become really introverted and find it hard to talk to strangers and to stop trusting people.
I suppose with myself, I kind of turn it over my shoulder and was like,
how do you do that? Like, because the rest of us don't. Do we all?
Yeah, everybody hangs on to it, and it's really interesting for me to see because, like my own daughter, she's adopted and she has all sorts of issues similar to you, and she's in special ed school, but she's only 13.
Yeah.
And I watch how she is and because everybody said similar things about her, that she would be dead before she was 10 and all of this stuff. She's got a very difficult background from being in hospital and unwell and everything. Yeah. And she's really able, similar to you, to just let go of shit.
Yeah.
And just kind of get on with it regardless. And she's got all of these deficits and things. And I can't believe how she does it because, like we,
same.
like...
Yeah, we'd hold on to it.
You know...
I try to throw something over my shoulder and boss myself. Like,
I'm gonna take this like mug for example. If you fill up a mug full of coffee and you keep drinking from it, the more you drink from it is the more you're picking yourself up and not letting it worry you. So by the time you drink that full mug of tea, all the worry is gone. Nothing's there anymore. It's just gone. Like there's no reason for you to say, Kieran, I'm not going to listen to you. You know, you're in fact you're worse than me for telling me that. You know, like you just need to pick yourself up and walk on with your life.
That's true.
Like I obviously there was like bad highlights in my life. Like I'm not going to get into them because you are like pretty rough and like. But for me to be able to get back from the road I was on, which was like it was hard because everyone I knew in Thurles was, you know, I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not saying
But-
everyone, but like there was certain individuals that I didn't really get along with. And
But it is what it is. What was really cool, yeah, but you started to learn like that, that was still your experience, that like no matter what individuals you get involved with or stuff like that, that's their life at the end of the day. But what was really cool, like, was when, I don't know, I remember talking to you, you just learned that, like, yeah, it's not about that anymore. It's just about going your own way or whatever.
So do you get
But-
buzz out of performing and stuff like that? Like after you do it?
I get a huge social buzz of it.
Yeah, I remember we're down. Was it the drumming circle or something? And you were going mad into that. Like, you could see you were getting like higher and higher on the whole atmosphere, the whole situation. You were kind of commanding the presence in the center of the whole drum circle. There must be a good energy out of that, is there?
Yeah, music has definitely been my thing from a young age. Like I remember when
You used to be obsessed with Michael Jackson, the weirdest obsession.
Yeah.
When he was like 6, he had this weird obsession with Michael Jackson. He'd like 6 years of age, and like my grandparents would be buying him like the Michael Jackson 2008 album or something like that. I don't know, like biography. Right?
What's your favourite Michael Jackson song?
probably You Don't Care About Us, because it really acts like how, like, that song is not actually about prisoners, it's about, Michael's talking about black people.
Yeah,
Because if you look in the video, you'll notice all the people in that video are black.
yeah.
Okay.
So Michael's talking about African Americans and about the government pushing all them aside years ago and not anyone. And that white people are the only people that matter.
Yeah.
Well,
And-
that's how I seen the song, innit? I don't know if that's exactly what it means, but
Well, it's up to you at the end of the day how you see it. Like,
Michael trying to reinvert the whole song into, like, like, he's telling everyone to kick back and watch this, like, because it's not
yeah,
right, like, something needs to be done about it.
definitely. Yeah,
Like, all these songs are about how the world needs to change and, like, make the world, like, just a better place in general. Because, look, if there was no war, like, the world would be a better place. There isn't war. Not in
Yeah.
Ireland, anyway. Ireland's a neutral country.
yeah.
There's nothing there, like.
Yeah, but what I was gonna say, do you remember your story when you talk about, like, remember saying like about Evan surgery? Evan has a scar in his stomach.
Yeah.
From that surgery, from he was like a tiny little just born, and but he used to tell everyone, like, he used to run around camera and he's like 5 or 6 telling everyone he got bit by like a crocodile.
Huh?
Do you remember
Yeah,
that? It was really
I
funny.
remember that,
Do
And he was
people believe you?
yeah.
But you believed you.
I believe me.
Yeah, that was the thing.
That's the important thing.
Yeah.
That's the important thing.
But no, like, people did believe him as well. But firstly, I think it's important to know you were fully convinced that was.
Well, yeah, I was at a young age because I didn't really know, like, so.
But that's cool. I'd
did
love
anyone
to.
tell you that, or did you just
No,
make it out?
What about the crocodile?
Yeah.
Kieran probably told you.
Yeah.
I think it was actually what's his name? Everyone called him Puddin' when you're younger. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
What's
It
his
sounds
name?
like something Puddin would do.
Yeah. Me and Owen, when I tell the Santa Claus story.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember when I tell that story? Is that me and Owen, brother Owen over there? Like one Christmas, Evan was like 6 or something, about 7, and me and Owen put on like a pair of shorts, or whatever. We were wearing shorts already, and so we were wearing our normal clothes, like a bit of a t-shirt, bit of shorts, and it was Christmas night, Christmas Eve, whatever you want to call it, and I had like a red hat on, and Owen had like a green hat on, a green Santa hat, and I had a red Santa hat on. Like, both, one said Coca-Cola, the other said 7-Up.
Very familiar.
Yeah, and we woke Evan up to pretend that we were Santa. Now, it wasn't a real, like, thankfully Santa still came that night, but we were just being silly.
Yeah.
And me and Owen were like, yeah, so we'll pretend to be Santa and
Well,
an elf.
Did you not think that when that happened, Santa might come to you?
We did. We were really scared, but he did come anyway. But Santa, we woke Evan up, and Evan was like, he looked at us as if like he recognised us. We weren't wearing a beard then; we were too young. And he looked at us, like,
You can't wear a beard.
but he looked at us like as if we were. He recognised us, and then he was like, as if he was looking at us the way, like, oh, there's Owen and Kieran. He's looking at them again, like he's like, why are you waking me up? But then we said, hey, Evan, it's me, and he's still looking at us, and Owen said something like, it's Santa or whatever. He was, like, he was just like, no way, or something, freaking out. And yeah, he was convinced, like. But how was it meeting Santa that night? I don't even know if you know that.
She said, no, I do. It was only a while ago that me and Dad were actually talking about this one,
No way.
And
What did you think? Like,
suppose it's probably one of the lucky kids when I was younger. I've seen Santa.
Yeah.
There's not many kids that, you know, there's lots of like helpers, Santa's helpers that
meet the team.
Yeah.
They were lucky that Santa came to them for pulling that off.
That was
definitely
pulling that stunt.
Do you think that you actually did know that it was Kieran and Owen, and you just humoured them
and you
to pretend?
us.
Look at them two poor sad bastards thinking I'll just humour them and go on. Yeah, you see,
that's probably it.
Joker's on you.
It's like the Joker. Except I'm actually the Joker here now.
That's fair.
What do you think, like, in terms of like when you said about all that stuff had gone from school that like kind of kept you interested and kept you there, do you think that like curriculums in those kinds of schools, like special education schools, do you think that they should have more of that arts and expressive and kind of musical stuff?
I think personally that with special education and all schools, it doesn't matter what school it is.
Yeah.
Which is take School Cormac for like a big example. Now they're probably one of the most like indulged in like students, but you know they're probably one of the biggest schools in Ireland that are indulged in their students.
Like they invest in, they care about their time.
Really like
they do.
They're passionate.
And you know it wasn't their fault that they couldn't do anything. They just couldn't put the risks of hundreds of children at risk. Like,
wait, what? Sorry,
because when COVID is around, everything stopped.
Oh, yeah.
But like, do you think just in general there should be more stuff like that in schools?
Yeah, definitely, because I think that like it keeps like so when kids, especially with normal schools as well as special education schools, that so you're going in the morning and you have your iPad and your phone and you're doing your work or whatever. That's alright. But you can't sit at a desk and get up for 20 minutes and go on to the next classroom for 8 hours a day. That doesn't work. It didn't work for me, and I know for a fact it doesn't work with hundreds of other kids and teenagers.
If there was more of that stuff, like would that have kept you a little bit more engaged with the more academic stuff? Like if it was a kind of trade-off like
because I wasn't just sitting there all day looking at... Look, fair enough, we went for walks around the town and stuff, but I was actually interested in doing things that were more academic than just walking. Yeah,
because you learn practically.
Yeah, I'm a practical learner. It's just the way I learn. Now, we were doing woodwork for a while, and that was kind of bringing my level back up of liking it. Yeah. Because I didn't like woodwork at the start when I first entered the school. It was only when I was on my last year, I was like, you know what, screw it. I just kind of have to do what I do now and get the most I can out of it and leave. And then when I started to realise, this isn't benefiting me anymore.
But even in fairness to that school, I know Evan now has taken his hats off to them more times, enough times for all of us, but I will take my hats off to them as well, like for the amount of stuff like that they do, like it really shows that there is a lot to look at, because what I'm saying is that school really does like put a lot of time into each student and really cares, and the teachers are all lovely and stuff. Yeah, it's still hard to perfect that sort of like
school environment
system of like equal like teaching and stuff like that, because as you said you didn't want to go walking, but it's like,
I remember
what do you do? Like you just need a teacher for every person to...
I remember when I was in early 80s in Hamilton, my mum and dad were in a meeting with the principal and they said do you think it's right and that I should go there? Like, I went to look at it anyway, and Mr. Butler, the principal at the time, stood in there and he said the education system in mainstream schools is just all it's all crap. Like,
it's not.
Sense, like.
It's not.
He said if every other school could be like the way my school is now, he said he'd be so happy.
It is quite behind, just like even comparing it to the UK. I was at school a lot of years ago, and even when I was in school in the UK, it was more advanced than here is now. Like it's really stuck in a particular era that just doesn't seem to have a lot of relevance for a lot of younger people now.
Yeah.
I went through I didn't like school here either.
Really, no?
No, I went through the whole school system and I didn't find out I was dyslexic until I went to England.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah.
So what happened when you were in
dyslexics?
Yeah, the English
you're good at picking it up. Well, I had a lecturer and she was like looking and she said, yeah, you to write, like for a dissertation, you to write kind of a draft or whatever. and she said something to me about like, of course, being dyslexic, something. I was going, excuse me, who's dyslexic? You know what I mean?
That was the first time you heard it.
Yes, that's what I did actually think.
Is that what? But did the teachers in Ireland make you feel like that?
Oh,
like,
they made me feel terrible. Yeah, made me feel.
That's
thick,
mad.
Yeah. But I knew I wasn't thick because I was able to organise things and get things done.
Yeah.
But yet in school it was like just all this stuff coming at you, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway, I said I'm not dyslexic, and she said, "Oh yeah, look, every time there's a word that doesn't have a picture associated with it, you leave it out." Like
oh wow!
Anyway,
that's mad.
Like, are you managing with dyslexia?
Oh, brilliant! Yeah, no. As soon as I worked out I was dyslexic, or I was told I was dyslexic, and then I got like assessed or whatever, and now you once said they do all these different tests on you, right, and check kind of your intelligence and different things. And she said, "Oh, you're really good at like listening or stuff, you know." And I said, "Oh, really cool." And then she said, "You got to use that, you know."
Yeah.
They ask you like words, different words with pictures and stuff like that. And she said, "Nobody ever gets that word. Nobody ever gets that. Nobody." And she said, "You should try listening things." So what I just started doing was recording lectures. If I record anything, listen to it 6 times, I can nearly recite it to you.
No way, that's so mad.
So suddenly I have a key that I don't have to stare at a book for hours and hours and hours. You just because when I do, I'm staring. This is so boring. And your mind starts to wander.
So would you read books but read them in ebook form?
Not really, no. I would read books still, but if I wanted to learn off a script or something for the drama group, I just record it and just if I walk the dog, listen to that 6 times, it's no bother. Whereas I could spend years looking at the script.
I'm the total opposite. I can't learn. Lectures are useless to me. I need to read books.
I can't learn. I find it hard to learn either.
I can't learn off books. That's something I struggle with.
I think a lot of people do.
Yeah.
You know, and the whole education system is pretty much book based.
And books.
Yeah.
I can only
iPads.
My best like form of learning is through storytelling. It always has. Like it's even like whether it's like even if it's like what if like I find it hard to like do both ear styles, which is like attain information from reading, or I find it hard to like even be in classes or like lectures or watching podcasts or anything like that. Like I find it really hard to attain information.
Well, you like podcasts, don't you?
I like one podcast.
Yes.
One in
Honestly,
you watch that kind of on repeat, you were saying.
If you're listening to any other podcast, you're wasting your time. Listen to that. But what?
Joe Rogan.
Everything from nothing. Wait, don't bleep that out.
I know, I said that from the lab.
Bleep that out. But what I learned definitely.
You mean like Ireland's only podcast?
Yeah, Ireland's only podcast. Yeah.
It's actually probably not in mind.
It may as well be. Anyway, like what I was gonna say was like I found out like storytelling is my best. So I can read a book if it's like a story, and I can, I can't think of examples now, but there's some stories like. I can learn life lessons through characters and stuff like that. If I can feel emotions, like that information will stay in with me. Like movies are the best. Like I feel like I've vicariously like lived through like these characters and stuff. And movies, like I'll cry at the end of like most movies, and people and it could be like it's always like happy tears, even if it's something sad. It's like it's always like. But like most movies that like there probably hasn't been one person to cry to. I've probably cried to just because of like. I get this overwhelming sense of like I've just experienced that, and it's like so I'm feeling the same relief now, not to that extent, but I'm feeling like a very large amount of that same relief that the character might, and it's like they're very intense for me. Like sometimes I'll have to be like whoa, like after watching a movie, but
I get that after I've read a good textbook.
Really?
Yeah, that same thing.
Like
that's mad.
A biology book or something.
Yeah.
That's mad.
Yeah. Physiology, cell biology, fucking love
You're just
it.
crying.
I bawl my eyes out.
Oh, plant cells.
Yeah.
How interesting.
I can't believe we didn't learn how to learn until we left school.
Yeah.
Like surely that should be
I
day
feel
one.
Because like we all have different ways. And
Well,
that's really
the best way of learning is academically. That's the way
what does that mean? Sorry, what? So like if,
not academically on books, but like
no, go on. I
physically. Sorry.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Oh,
like I know what you mean.
Like that's
experience.
Yeah, you're right.
Best, like
sorry, go on.
You're right.
I've like from like when I started working at 13, which was mad. Like
I started working at 13.
is it?
Yeah. I was shoveling horse shit and delivering papers.
Hey.
I was working in my granduncle's shop. Grocery shop in the square. Yeah.
I started working with it.
I think I heard about that. Someone told me about that story.
I think Dad used to. Oh, wait, what was it? Skeins.
Oh.
Yeah, someone told me about that story.
What was the story? Go on.
What
was
Just
it?
what you said there.
Oh, I
Anyway,
worked in my grand. I did. Yeah. Maybe
Someone
I told you.
totally.
Maybe it was me.
Yeah. someone Put in skeins.
Oh, it's one of the classics, isn't it?
Turles classic.
Yeah. Like you working in a shop.
Hold on.
Don't tell that story. Kieran will start crying.
I know. Yeah. Well, he paid me a $5 a week, Kieran, so don't get too emotional.
What made you start working at 13, Evan? Because that's like it's not usual for kids nowadays to do that.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's unusual. Like
The question is being received. no, Ryan, you have it, yeah.
Yeah, no. So when I was 13, life was like, you know, I was
Box of chocolates. Sorry, Forrest in. Go on.
I was getting like I was getting in trouble a lot at home, and like obviously, you know, I wasn't doing a lot of the right things that I should have been doing. So I guess the only way out of it at that stage I thought was to get a job so that I'd have not as much time to be doing the things I wasn't supposed to be doing. And it's actually funny enough because I'll explain it in a few minutes, but
Yeah, go on. No worries.
I started out as a bicycle mechanic assistant for Declan McGann town.
I remember that, yeah.
And I was working with him for a year, and I just kind of, I suppose I lost interest in the job, like, 'cause,
Yeah.
you know, there was a lot of, like, stuff that my mind wouldn't be able to comprehend, like, it's just, like, I'm good with, like, IT and stuff, but when it comes to mechanics, it has to be something, like, bicycles, people think it's easy to fix a bike, but it's not, it's hard, like, it is really hard, because different,
Yeah.
you have to know about different group sets and different...
Everything's easy when you don't know how. Like, well, one of my favorite quotes is it's on a magnet or a fridge. Edgar, I don't know, one of those artist fellas anyway. Mother has on it. Yeah, painting is easy when you don't know how. Same with looking at a bike, because it's so easy to ride a bike.
Yeah.
You think that, like, oh yeah, but like, I don't know, when you
It's
start.
all the components and parts.
Yeah,
of the bicycle.
watches
like-
and bicycles. Somebody once told me, like, you can fix anything apart from watches and bicycles.
Like,
because there's a complexity in
If
them.
you look at the likes of, like, does anyone remember Toomey's? No.
I do. Mick
No.
Toomey's, yeah.
Did you
Still
work
going,
there?
aren't they?
I used to hang around there, annoy Mick, basically. That's
Do
what
you
I
remember? do you remember Scanlon's bike shop?
I do remember Scannon's.
I love the way Evan's like, I don't remember because I wasn't
Where
born.
the credit union
Yeah.
is, yeah.
Do you obviously remember?
And Paddy Hayes' bicycle shop where
Yeah.
Naomi's was. I do.
No way.
If you take the likes of, I remember years ago, like, I suppose, like, they were a main dealership, like Rally.
They were.
Like Scanlon's bicycle
Yeah,
shop.
yeah.
And
No.
I remember every time you used to go in there, was it Mick Scanlon? Was that his name? No?
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, Mick Scanlon or something. I don't know. You'd walk in and he'd say, "Look at those tires. What are you doing pulling skids?"
Ah,
And
No, like-
it's funny. That's because he used to say that to me as well.
really? Did he?
Yeah, he'd say, "Sonny, I have more to be doing than fixing your bike."
Yeah. And
That's right.
yeah, no, like, he had all the tools, and I remember, like,
set up Andy.
yeah,
That was fabulous place.
the mechanics around the town used to be coming looking for tools off him years ago,
Oh, did
because
they? You'd everything.
and Raleigh rang them one day, and Raleigh rang Scanlon's bike shop one day and said, "Oh yeah, is there any chance we can patent the tool that you made yourself, because we want it."
Is that right?
He wouldn't give it away at all. Like,
Oh.
he's so glued to it.
He was very good.
And I suppose his son, like, his grandson, like John at the time, would have been in England, so, like,
Oh yeah, I know. It's
yeah, he would have been in England at the time, so, like,
Yeah.
you know, he just
So then you worked there. You worked in the bike place for a year or so.
yeah. And when I left there, then I went on to Dan Taylor. And
How did you get that job?
What,
Did you just
what
go
was
up
your
to him?
question?
Why did you start work at 13, and how was
Okay.
it like?
Yeah.
What
you know
made you do
what?
that?
What made you do that? Like, why did
Well,
you?
I was
Like, whatever you did the bikes, but why did you do the bike? Like,
Because were you listening?
what?
Evan said that he was like getting in shit at home and things like that, and like it was a good way to like not be doing the things that he was doing and getting in trouble.
Oh, I thought that was like earlier on in the podcast.
No,
Jesus.
you're stoned. You've gone down a rabbit hole.
Is this
I'm
why you
really
had
sorry.
to get out of the house?
What?
Is this why you had to get
I
out
can
of the
see
house?
now why you got the
Dylan?
job.
yeah,
That was right.
instead of
My
two fucking
God.
nubbins.
Yeah. I would have got a job as
Brother
soon as
Owen
you
didn't
let
do
Lex
anything.
carry me out
Me
the door.
too.
I'm really
Honestly.
sorry. I did
You
hear.
were down.
I did.
You
I
were
was
down in
listening.
Kerry. You never came home.
They were only holding you back.
Yeah.
They were holding you back.
Yeah. And come here, you
I'm sorry.
graduated then on
And I was
Taylor.
chasing around the garden at 6 years of age and doing my hammers.
Yeah, you were chasing us with hammers.
Is Dan Taylor from mine? No.
Dan Taylor is not. Dan's father, Donny, is from... Everyone knows Donny around the town. I suppose he's just that kind of character that everyone
I
knows.
don't.
He's always...
I know a Donny Taylor, and his dad's name is Dan Taylor.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, that's him.
Oh, that's...
Is it?
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
oh, is
From
his
South
Dan's
Street.
nickname Tony? Is that what you're saying? Oh, I didn't.
Donny...
Or someone else.
They're probably cousins or something.
Yeah, they're
right.
definitely related, but...
Yeah.
How did you get the job with Dan?
That's a good
See,
question.
Decky and Dan are best friends, and I knew Dan through Decky, and I passed Dan. Dan was delivering blocks into an old fella's house one day, and he stopped me up and asked me, "Oh, do you want to come work?" And he said, well, no, I said, do you want me to give you a hand? Because I knew him, like, I was just being sound.
Yeah.
He said, yeah, no problem. So I went from one house to the next house to the next house. Hey, around tomorrow evening, he said, yeah, wait.
So he couldn't get rid of you?
No.
He just latched on the...
Yeah, he just latched
man.
onto me and was like, you know,
That's good.
ever since then I kind of became
That's
friends
hard.
with him, like, so me and Dan are like really close friends.
That's really cool.
And
Yeah.
how many years have you been working with Dan now?
I've been with Dan, I think, 1 year and 6 months so far.
Right.
Okay.
That's really cool.
And you still love it?
Yeah, I won't change.
Out in the bog.
I have had other jobs since. I've had 2 jobs, but I kind of left them because the labour was just too hard.
Yeah.
Dan's is a bit more easy, even though it's not as much money. I need to find another job as well, but this is what you
Hey,
know,
look,
I need to.
you're doing the right thing, though. Take it
Yeah.
easy. Hey, brother Evan, do you believe in God?
Is that philosophically or?
No, just whatever. What are you? It's your question now. I've given it to you.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah. What do you believe? Like, what do you believe happens us when we die?
Well, when we die, I believe that you're like reincarnated, so you're born again as another person. Like,
So what? Okay, here's
And
a
I
fun
believe-
question.
right.
Okay, go on. Sorry.
I suppose I believe that you're either born as a person or born as another animal. So like, I'm a human now, but I could be born again as. Yeah.
An armadillo. An armadillo. Like
Do you reckon you get
Evan
to
could
choose?
definitely be an armadillo.
Do you reckon you get to choose?
Yeah. I reckon there's like a little notice board at the top of heaven. You just take choose take out the pen. The fog.
An Argos
What
catalog.
would you pick next time?
I'm the holiday armadillo.
That's a really good choice.
What's a holiday armadillo? Like an armadillo that
I
wears.
was in Friends.
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
Russ is the holiday
that's funny.
armadillo.
Holiday. Yeah. So like, who do you think you are in your last life?
I guess I was like, I don't know. Yeah.
Michael Jackson died the same day.
day.
Imagine.
I was born.
No, he didn't. No.
Alright.
I remember you were very upset at the time. But
Was it?
I think so. Yeah, you would have been. Yeah, I remember that actually. We were in our house in Kebra. But yeah. If you who were you in your last life?
I believe I was some sort of like pheasant.
Pheasant. You're up on
What makes
Did you
think
get
that?
shot? Did you? Who shot you? Point to me.
anyone in, that's funny.
What makes you think that? You feel some sort of affinity with the pheasants?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Do you believe in like karma? So, like, do you believe you do
What is
good
it, chicken
things?
karma?
What?
Pheasant coma.
Yeah. But like, do you believe that if you do good things will happen to you? Or
Well, I believe if I eat that cake, you know, and live, but like,
you can have some. You can have some cake. Do you believe in answering questions?
yeah, I do.
Okay, we're off to a good start. Next question. Do you believe in karma? Like, you know, because the reason I ask that is
Well-
because I don't know, you seem to, when you do good things, I notice good things happen to you.
Well, yeah, no, I would believe in karma, like, 'cause, like, yeah, no, I would definitely.
Yeah. What about you? Do you believe in
Definitely,
karma, like,
yeah.
or just, yeah, whatever you want to call it, but like that whole idea of doing
Definitely,
good?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you reap what you sow. Like the
Seen
more
it,
good you
like-
put out there, then
Yeah,
The more good you're going to get back.
yeah.
definitely. I don't think there's any other way because it's just like, I don't know. Like, because I'm part of that as well. Like, I broke down before and I was like, okay, you know, because I do believe in it spiritually, but I always like, I always like test my faith or belief in things, and like I was like, okay, well, even if that's like, the spiritual aspect of it wasn't real. This was a few years ago, and I was like, but even the fact that like the reason like you'll still experience it regardless if you believe it or not is because if you're doing bad things, you're probably around bad people, so you're probably around a bad environment. Therefore, you're probably gonna see bad things happen or experience bad things because you're in bad. And I was like, oh, so like. Even if the spiritual part isn't real, I was like, that's definitely real. Like, if you're around bad people, bad things will probably happen. If you're around good people, good things will probably happen. So if you're doing good things, you're probably around good people. I don't know. I think it's as simple as that as well. Well, I do believe it, though. Beyond that, it is a sort of...
Like attracts like.
Yeah.
So, yeah. There's a vibrational resonance. It's resonance theory. I think that's what it's called. I'm making that bit up. But
that definitely sounds familiar.
Like vibrations resonate with like vibrations.
And what's your opinion on string theory?
Mine?
Yeah.
I believe that
quantum mechanics.
Depends how long you cut a string, like,
The multiverse.
It's never going to end. Like string theory is like watching the first episode of The Simpsons. Like, when is it going to end? Like,
is that what you were thinking when you were watching it? Yeah. Do you like The Simpsons?
I suppose I would like it. I suppose like, I don't know, Maggie for some reason she does nothing, but she just kind of
chills.
Yeah.
Doesn't Maggie underpin the whole thing? I feel like she holds the whole thing together.
She's the puppet, like puppeteer.
Yeah.
Homer's just the. That was such a bad joke.
And what about Bart?
I suppose.
We're just gonna ask like all the Simpsons. What about this? Is where what about Bart? Then,
I suppose. I can't even answer the question.
Too much.
There's too much going on now, isn't there? There's
cry.
cake on the table.
I'm gonna cry.
Had too much sugar. Like it's all going. Hey Evan, like, do you know when people have said things in the past, like, you're not gonna live X amount of hours, you're not going to get through this surgery, you're not going to be able to go to school, you're not going to be able to walk. What do you think about all of that stuff? Like, did you at the time kind of go, that's not going to happen, that's not true, that's not, like, how...
I suppose when I was born, like, I have some, like, realizations in my head of what happened when, like, because I can go back really far in my memory, like...
Can you?
Oh, I can, yeah.
What's your earliest, do you think?
My earliest memory would probably be...
being born.
Not even that. Like I have very vague memories being born. Like, I just like
really.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Jesus Christ.
Like my memory. Remember the way Mum and Dad always said, I can't remember something that you told me 5 minutes ago. But when it comes to a later date in life, I remember.
Oh, definitely. You've always done that. Like Evan will just like forget everything, but then he'd be like, do you remember that time when I was 2 in 2004 and like you were all, and me and Owen were like, no, we don't remember because we were too young to remember. Like, it's really
remember
weird.
first meeting the lads? No.
I
remember like
I do actually. That's weird. Yeah.
Yeah, I know I do.
Do you?
Do yeah.
Where was it?
I remember meeting Mum and Dad for the first time, Arnie.
Yeah.
That's about
and
it.
just clarify, like, like when Evan said Mum and Dad, like his is he fostered or adopted? I know. I always get
adoption.
confused.
Fostered is basically adoption means mum and dad are my legal
parents.
parents.
Okay, yeah,
so
legal
foster
guardians.
care is just when somebody has you like they're your guardians.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
adoption is like they are legally recognised as your parents.
Okay. Yeah.
You remember meeting them for the first time? Yeah.
I did. I wasn't like from when I was younger. Like I wasn't with mum and dad the whole time. Mum and dad kind of found it hard at the start and weren't really able to look after me, so they sent me off to a farm.
So that's actually true.
Brilliant.
That's true.
Yeah, no, it is.
Yeah, with a house on the farm.
Yeah.
That's what happened to our dog Patch, not you, Evan.
People there as well. Was there people on this farm? Yeah. So you went to live in the farm?
Yeah, so there was a family on the farm.
Yeah, no, there was family on the farm that took me in.
Lovely.
Yeah. So they would have like sort of fostered him then, I'd say, would it, or took you on?
Very like vague, like really vague memories of what these people look like.
Yeah, that's my first memory of meeting you. We were really young, like that's so far back. Like, me and Owen were so young. That's very like vague in my head, right?
And I remember, then after that, Mum and Dad couldn't handle the fact that he didn't have me either, so they took me back in again.
Yeah,
which I suppose like for not only to have like 3 kids and then take someone in that isn't theirs is like I have to take my hats off to my parents as well. Like, you know.
If you have any hats left, yeah, I'm only messing. But yeah, definitely. And now you have your actual brother is living.
Oh,
yeah, that's mad.
Yeah, so now our parents have adopted. Is he adopted or no?
No, he's fostered.
Fostered. Yeah. Oh my god, this stuff's so confusing to me. Fostered. Colin, who's actually Evan's brother, who's our cousin now, and I don't know how they do it either. It's mad, but what was that like for you? Was that weird for you? Because that's a really rare like thing to happen, like so rare. You don't hear that. Like first of all, being adopted by a close family is rare. Yeah. Then for like your actual brother to join our family.
Yeah, that's
like, what was that like? Like now you're living with your I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, that is cool. Now, but Colin's lovely anyway, lucky, and he won't. Hopefully, he won't chase you at hammers like you chased us.
No.
Did you chase the boys with hammers? Yeah,
I did. Yeah, I remember I was yarn.
Keep them on their toes, was it?
It's actually if you're ever in the house, there's a photo on the fridge.
Yeah,
and there's a photo of Kieran with a hammer in his hand.
Yeah. Is there?
Or no, it's either on the bench or it's in his hand. I can't remember.
Oh, workbench. Yeah.
They used to belong to Dad.
Yeah.
The workbench, no, Evan. It was one of the kids' plastic benches. That belonged to
That's
Dad.
where your dad fixed all the stuff, wasn't it?
That's what he said anyway.
Yeah.
I think that was just to keep Kieran and Owen happy.
Yeah.
To know that he was using.
Do you think that anyone can overcome anything, like whatever happens to them in life? And
at the end of the day, if you put your head and it's something you really want to do, you can just pick yourself up and do it. There's no reason as to why this is stopping you.
Yeah.
So whatever people say, because I that would be my viewpoint. Is I often with patients and stuff in the past, it's like you are a statistic of one. Yeah. Each person is a statistic of one. It doesn't matter how many other things have happened to how many other people, but you kind of, it's you. And that's it. And you can approach anything in the way that you want. You can do anything that you want. It doesn't matter how many other cases haven't, will, won't. It's if you have that attitude.
What's it like for do you know about people with dementia and stuff? Would you deal with people with dementia?
Yeah, I have done. Yeah.
Yeah. What's that like for for them to understand? Can they understand what they're going through? Is it hard for them to?
Yeah, it is. They can only really understand when they kind of have those lucid moments where they're sort of present and in things.
And that they're very rare as well, aren't they?
It depends, because it's a progressive illness, so early on people get kind of times when they're more present than others and stuff. But
and it just gets really worse and worse and worse.
Yeah. But it's like there's all sorts of stuff coming out now, studies and evidence and that you can even direct your own biology and physiology and cellular biology and make things a certain way. There's so much more stuff coming out through quantum medicine and all of these approaches now that we can measure a lot more stuff, and that research is going that way. So there's medical cases long throughout history where people have sort of overcome odds and things like that.
The government with people with autism, that's another thing. The government are doing now isn't really fair. They're getting information of people's kids that have autism in their families. I don't know if you heard about that, did you?
What?
The government are taking, the personal files of kids that have autism in families. They're taking all their information and putting it into that.
I did see that. Yeah, you're right.
They're collecting all the information illegally.
They
without legal rights to do it. Yeah. And then storing in that file.
They were getting their school files and stuff like that. Department of Health.
Purpose of that?
Department of Health.
Defence, in case they were being sued for. Department of Health were getting stuff off the Department of Education or getting stuff from schools, basically. Gather as much information about the kids as possible. So it was a defence thing. So if parents were suing the Department of Health,
they couldn't get the file.
What they wanted, I think, was, look, he's doing this well, he did this well, so what's your problem?
Oh, Jesus.
Wow. And they were being handed over like that, so it was shocking.
So they don't have to pay things like disability and...
I'm not sure what it was.
Yeah, no, that's what I was, because I remember when I got mine, it was definitely like a really hard process.
I don't think it was because of that, but yeah, definitely.
No, like that's the reason they're doing it, is because the government, that is the one thing that if I lose that, that's the one thing I'll never get back.
Yeah, that's true. Like, that's true, but I don't think I think there's something else there with that.
I think it was. I'm not sure what it was, but was it something to do with? Was something, I don't know. Was there cases going on and they were gathering information as defence? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they weren't.
Well, it could have been like just another mother and baby home situation. Like.
I think so. Yeah, I think that was what it was. Yeah. Yeah.
If you want to find out, you can look it up.
I think on Patreon we have the answers to all these questions.
Yeah. Oh yeah. On that note, So we didn't start a Patreon. We started a Patreon a while back. We haven't been like heavily like telling people to go watch it because like we had the price up a bit much because we couldn't change at the time. But yeah, so we changed it and we're happy to say it because we think it's worth it now. You can say that confidently.
Out how to work Patreon, basically.
Yeah, so for €2 a month, you can give a child. For €2 a month, you can actually
access medical files.
Access medical files. Yeah.
Seek better education off the government because they apparently like to give out good education.
Save an African child.
Yeah.
Save a Turles child.
Sponsored by UNICEF. Not.
Save Kieran.
Okay.
Kieran.
Save me. That's true. I got so confused.
No, keep us in Swiss rolls, basically.
Yeah.
And you can literally get everything from nothing for just little as €2 a month.
Okay, right. I shall go on now and tell them where to do that. Right. At patreon.com/Ireland's podcast for €2 a month. We do fun episodes.
Everybody who signs up gets a slice of Swiss roll.
A slice of Swiss roll, yeah.
And a cup of coffee.
Yeah, don't get too close.
We stay here, yeah.
Yeah, no, we won't give you Swiss roll. We'll give you hugs.
Okay.
When the pandemic is over. But yeah, so for Ireland's patreon.com, patreon.com/Ireland's podcast, you can for €2 a month get like exclusive like podcast episodes where we don't have any guests on and we just say stuff that's like we talk about lots of like, I don't know, check it out, I don't know if you want or whatever, but sometimes it's not stuff, it's stuff that YouTube would probably ban, but but like they would like, actually the last episode we did, we were talking about, remember we were talking about, and
God, yeah.
No. What? Oh, I thought... I thought she was. My mother commented on the Patreon. She said it was a shitty episode. But I was like, why would my mother say that? Like, we were talking about the stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it wasn't actually.
No, it wasn't. It was a good episode.
Wait, can you not say that stuff on the podcast?
Wow, it's just rude. Like, no, like it's bad. Like we can say the word shit and we can say stuff like that, but like, but to talk about what we're talking about isn't for everyone's. It's not the stuff that we talk about when we have guests on. Like, we're not gonna, you know what I mean? I don't know. But anything else or if we finish up now?
I think we're done.
I think we're done too. Yeah. Thanks for coming on, Evan.
No problem. Yeah.
For the 50th episode,
we're gonna go back to the bog.
We're gonna
back to the farm.
Back to the bog.
And he's back to the farm.
Not in a bad way. It's a place that you like.
Thanks for coming on for the 50th episode. Like, it was more of a relaxed episode, and it's good to talk to you, Brother Evan. Brother Evan, thanks for coming on.
You're more than welcome.
Right.
You shall now be rewarded with a slice of.
Yeah,
you.
I feel like you were distracted so much in that interview.
I thought it was a bad idea.
That's why I kept checking if you were answering questions. You were just looking at the Swiss roll the whole time.
But it's very how would I put it? It's very
distracting.
Yeah.
Okay, we
look, the cream in the middle and the.
See,
Okay, we'll get him a slice.
Yeah.
And then we'll have Evan on back next time. Yeah, we'll have it. Yeah, it's a prop.
Is it like your beanie on?
Oh, brother Evan offended brother Owen. But yeah,
it's be a fight.
Is this like brother number 1, brother number 2 talks to brother number 3, and it's like a maths question, but like you're dying to know who they actually are.
Except there's no apples. But yeah,
or pears.
Or pears.
And just a Swiss roll.
Okay.
Should we go?
Oh my God. Yeah, we should go, and maybe next time we'll have him on again, and we won't have to Swiss roll on. And
too distracted.
And I know you did answer stuff well. I'm only joking. Thanks for coming on.
No problem.
Thanks you for being here. Thanks.
Taking your watch off for the
That was good, isn't it?
And thanks Haley
for really comfortable when I take the watch off.
Yeah.
Thanks to me for drinking all my coffee.
Yeah, thanks to Haley for being here too. Thanks to Evan for being here too. Thanks to Owen for being here.
Thanks,
Kieran.
Thanks, Kieran, for turning things
thanks, lads. Thanks. Thanks to you.
Yeah.
Like, there you are. Thanks to you for watching.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/Ireland's Podcast. There's brother Evan there. Bye.
Bye.